Today's comic recap is sponsored by our good friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, check out our friends DB94, located in Boca Raton, Florida. We begin by looking at the cover variants. I picked up cover B because I love the iconic of Stalker, Snake Eyes, and Scarlet. And these are the three different variants at retails. And this is an interesting one. These were supposed to be featured at San Diego Comic-Con, but for some reason they didn't make it to print. Therefore, they weren't produced. Remember, we're picking up from issue 262. Destro and Baroness are under the Alpha 001's mind control. Back in issue 261, Destro and Baroness successfully overtook the Revanche headquarters in New Jersey. Unaware their leader is under the control of Revanche, a squad of Iron Grenadiers are there to greet Destro and Baroness upon their return. Like in a scene from an 80s horror sci-fi movie, Alpha 001, disguised as an Iron Grenadier, slips behind the squad and promptly applies his mind alteration. They all begin reciting that binary code, 0011001. Now I'm going to pause here to point out that all-star team of Hama, Diaz, and Kumar are at it again. You all know I've been Diaz's #1 fan since day one. My only recommendation to Nito, who is watching I'm sure, is he needs to differentiate his female characters a little bit more. As we go through this issue, and even in the issues in the past, be it Baroness, Scarlet, or Bombstrike, sometimes they kind of look the same. So in the future, I think he needs to differentiate the characters a little bit more. As noted in an earlier episode, at this point, neither Cobra or G.I. Joe is aware of what Revanche is up to and the fact that they have commandeered Mars Industry in their quest of world domination. Alpha 001 leads Destro and Baroness down to the facilities. He instructs them to gather up all the broken pieces that they destroyed and reassemble them. And what he's going to do is merge into like this spider-like figure that we saw in the yearbook. Do you remember that when we covered that? So he's going to morph into this spider-like character that we saw back in the yearbook. The way he did this was kind of bizarre. He basically absorbed all the broken pieces from all the Revanche bots. Now here's the messed up part. He looks at Destro and Baroness and inquires whether he should absorb them. Absorb human beings into himself. I don't know about you guys, but if he puts his hand on the Baroness, we're going to have some problems. Don't tell my wife. Next, we head off to another part of New Jersey, the New Jersey Boardwalk. You know, in IDW, New Jersey's featured a lot. Rutgers was actually brought up when Revanche first entered the picture. Anyway, a very pushy old lady demands to have a reading with Crystal Ball. Now, Crystal Ball has been kind of out of the loop and outcasted from Cobra entirely. Seeing him in this washed out state is kind of fitting for the character. Remember, this is Stephen King's fault for throwing him upon us. The old lady turns out to be none other than Zartan, who recruits Crystal Ball to go undercover into Cobra Springfield. He has uncovered some disturbing news concerning Cobra's intentions in the next few days and needs Crystal Ball to carry this out. We now jump to South Africa, where the Oktober Guard has taken up retirement. Horrorshow runs a diner while Stormovic and others were hired to train troopers in the South Africa. I wonder if G.I. Joe guys are aware of this. Dragon Sky and Dania burst in, informing the entire team intelligence has Cobra planning something major against G.I. Joe, namely Snake Eyes, and they wish to go to his aid. Okay, how come Zartan and now the Oktober Guard has gotten wind of Cobra threat, when G.I. Joe with all its resources and specialists have no idea of this and Revanche yet. We come upon Lady Liberty, where Larry Hama sadly takes a page of real-world current news. Domestic terrorists lashing out against minorities and non-Anglo faiths. These nutcases take a Hispanic security guard hostage and plan to blow her up inside the Statue of Liberty. Scarlet and Throwdown drop in on these dirtbags while a TV film crew watches and observes. The following panels is the reason why I think Nito Diaz is absolutely the bomb. The action sequence that he has unfolding makes you feel the intensity of what's going on as Scarlet and Throwdown take aim and dismantle these thugs. We see as Scarlet lands, she slips, but Throwdown's there to catch her from falling. Stalker and Lowlight are nearby watching all the action. Lowlight's in position to pick off any of the domestic terrorists. And we see that these guys are complete nut jobs. For calling themselves real Americans, they have no problem with shooting bullets in Lady Liberty's crown, which is a sin. Throwdown and Scarlet take the jump on them as the news crew watches in amazement on how... First, they're like, are these guys ninjas? Who are these guys? But you see, Throwdown, he was trained by Snake Eyes, so seeing him do all of this is not really surprising if you've been following the IDW run. We see that this guy gets to jump on Scarlet, but boop, there is Lowlight picking that bastard off. That is awesome. Again, Diaz with his action sequence is freaking remarkable. Now from the IDW, we've seen Sean Collins, a.k.a. Throwdown, a.k.a. the new Snake Eyes, team up with Scarlet primarily, and also with Don Marino on occasions. And in both cases, he's shown quite capable of carrying on the mantle of Snake Eyes. I'm actually really proud of Sean. I know a lot of people have been, he's not really Snake Eyes, but he has a big big shoes to fill. And I think he's done a remarkable job carrying on Snake Eyes. And he knows he can never fill his shoes. Here we have the terrorists making one last attempt to blow up this poor girl and Lady Liberty's head. But the clicker gets out of the way. And we see that even though, her life was in jeopardy, this Hispanic female security guard still cares to where she picks up she's fighting all the way. And that's why I give her, she's still doing her job and being a security guard. It's not just a paycheck. The job has meaning to her. And this shows that. That's, really remarkable for this small character. Now, if you've been following issues 262, and this one is kind of setting up something that's going to happen. Some big events, big part of the storyline. So I kind of like how, it's setting everything up and putting things in places for what's upcoming. And it's going to be really major, and it's going to involve Snake Eyes and something that Cobra Commander, Dr. Mindbender are up to. And that's why, Zartan has caught wind of it. The Oktober Guard has caught wind of it. But all at the same time, nobody's aware of Revanche and what they're doing. So how this all is going to come together into this huge epic mashup is really intriguing. And now I'm excited to see what's coming up in the next few issues of G.I. Joe. I know 265 is out, so I know I'm a little bit behind with this comic recap, Cobra Convergence, the things I'm going through personally and getting annihilated with the fire ants earlier in the week. So I apologize for that. What's interesting is that same mind altering that Alpha 001 has done to Mars, he's apparently going to use that against Snake Eyes. Is it going to be Dawn or Sean? We don't know. So looking forward to issue 265. This is Shabu, are you? signing off.